The ultimatum, the Galactic Council chamber, floated in the void between stars, a massive structure of crystallized energy and ancient metal. Ambassador Sarah Chun stood in the center of the room, her small human form dwarfed by the 12 alien counselors who sat in judgment above her. Counselor Zarkonian rose from his seat. His forearms spread wide as his telepathic voice filled the chamber. The Council has decided. Earth must surrender its quantum drive technology to us. This is not a request. Sarah kept her face calm. She had expected something like this, but not so soon. High Counselor, Earth developed this technology peacefully. We've shared many innovations with the galaxy already. The quantum drive is still being tested. Silence. Counselor Zircon's mechanical voice cut through her words. The cyborg's red eyes glowed brighter. You humans are primitive newcomers. You stumbled upon one lucky invention. You don't deserve such power. The other counselors murmured in agreement. The Vatani representative's tentacles waved dismissively. The crystalline shardlings chimed their support. Even Counselor Zex, who had seemed friendly before, remained silent. Sarah straightened her shoulders. Earth has been a peaceful member of the galactic community for 50 years. We've never threatened anyone. And that, Zarkonian said slowly, is why you are weak. You avoided every conflict. You ran from every challenge. Now you will give us what we want, or Earth will be cut off from all trade routes. No ship will be allowed near your system. Your world will starve in isolation. The counselors laughed. To them, humans were soft creatures who chose talking over fighting. They had no idea how wrong they were. You have 48 hours to comply, Zarkonian announced. Leave now, little human. Tell your leaders to be wise. Sarah bowed slightly. As she walked out, she pressed a hidden button on her wrist device. An encrypted message shot through quantum space to Earth. They've shown their true colors. Captain Jung-hoon received the message on the bridge of the Earth defense ship, Phoenix. The warship was hidden behind Jupiter's moon, one of many secrets the Council didn't know about. He read Sarah's message twice, then opened a channel to Earth. In the presidential bunker beneath New Geneva, President Min-jun gathered his advisors. The room filled quickly with military leaders, scientists, and intelligence officers. The wall screens showed Sarah's message. So they finally did it, Min-jun said quietly. They want our quantum drive. Intelligence Chief SEO Yan stepped forward. Her fingers danced across a holographic display, bringing up months of intercepted Council communications. We've been monitoring them, sir. This was planned. They think we're weak because we haven't fought a war in 50 years. General Park laughed bitterly. They don't know we chose not to fight. Big difference. What are our options? Min-jun asked. Dr. Chun, Sarah's brother and Earth's lead scientist, pulled up a different display. We could give them fake plans. Buy more time. No, Min-jun said firmly. They threatened to starve our world. They called us weak. He looked around the room at each face. They want to see what humans are capable of. Then we'll show them. SEO Yan smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. Sir, I recommend we activate Project Shadow Wing. Do it, Min-jun ordered. And prepare the mirror protocol. Jung-hoon's voice came through the communicator. Mr. President, the Phoenix and her sister ships are ready. Just say the word. Not yet, Captain. Let them think they've won. We have 48 hours to prepare something special. As Earth's leaders planned, the Council celebrated in their chamber. They had no idea that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in avoiding fights. It was in knowing exactly when to strike back. The countdown began. 48 hours until the galaxy learned why humans were the one species you should never corner. Asterisk the silent response. At 24 hours after the ultimatum, something strange happened. Every human ambassador on every council world packed their belongings and left. No explanations. No goodbye parties. They just boarded ships and headed home. In the council chamber, Sarkonian watched the reports with satisfaction. See? They run like scared animals. I told you humans were cowards. Zirkon's mechanical laugh echoed through the room. They're probably crying to their weak government, begging someone to save them. But Counselor Zex felt uneasy. The Altarian had dealt with humans for decades. This silence wasn't like them. Something feels wrong, Zex said quietly. You worry too much. Sarkonian waved his forearms dismissively. What can they do? Their fleet is tiny. Their technology is nothing compared to ours, except for that quantum drive. What the Council didn't know was that Earth's tiny fleet was only what they were allowed to see. The real fleet waited in quantum space. Invisible and patient. Captain Junghung stood on the Phoenix's bridge, watching as thousands of stealth probes launched silently into space. Each probe was no bigger than a basketball, covered in quantum-cloaked armor that made them invisible to every known sensor. Probes away, his tactical officer reported. They'll reach Council space in 6 hours. Good, Junghung replied. And our other ships? All 5,000 are in position, Captain. Hidden in quantum space, waiting for the signal. Back on Earth, Sioyan's cyber warfare team worked without rest. Her 100 specialists sat at quantum computers. Their minds linked directly to the machines through neural interfaces. I'm inside the Zarkonian Defense Network, one specialist reported. Zirkons. Systems are cracked, said another. Vertani. Military codes acquired. Sioyan smiled as reports came in. The stealth probes were doing their job, attaching to Council systems and sending back data. Remember, don't change anything yet. We're just watching, learning. In his lab, Dr. Chun made final adjustments to the mirror protocol. His team of scientists worked on equations that would have seemed like magic to the Council races. Energy reflection at 98% efficiency, his assistant reported. Make it 99, Chun ordered. When they fire at us, I want them to hit themselves harder than they expected. 36 hours passed. The Council grew more confident with each moment. Small glitches appeared in their systems. A door that opened too slowly here. A communication delay there, but nobody paid attention. Why would they? They were the mighty Galactic Council. Zircon's aide, a young cyborg named Tech, noticed strange energy readings near their military stations. Sir, there's something. Not now. Zircon cut him off. Can't you see I'm planning the celebration for when Earth surrenders? 47 hours. Sarah Chun sat in Earth's command center, watching the countdown timer. President Minjun stood beside her. Any word from the Council? He asked. They're preparing a celebration, Sarah said. They think we're beaten. Good. Let them think that for one more hour. As the 48th hour approached, every human ship in space turned toward home. Trade vessels, exploration ships, even tourist crafts, they all headed back to Earth space. To the Council, it looked like fear. In reality, it was preparation. SEO-YEON walked up to Minjun. Sir, we have complete access to their systems. Every weapon, every shield, every communication device. They're ours whenever we want them. And they don't know? They have no idea. Their technology is advanced, but their security? They never expected an attack from within. They're too arrogant. The timer showed 1 minute remaining. Minjun turned to his broadcast technician. Prepare the message. As the 48 hours ended, every screen in Council space, every computer, every personal device, every public display showed the same words. You forgot to ask what humans do when cornered. In the Council chamber, Zarkonians stared at the message in confusion. What is this? Some kind of joke? Then the lights went out. Not just in the chamber. Every council military base, every warship, every defense platform, they all lost power at exactly the same moment. 10 seconds of complete darkness. 10 seconds of silence. When the lights returned, Zarkonian's confident expression had vanished. Because now, every weapon system in council space showed the same thing. Target locks from invisible sources. Humanity's response had begun. Asterisk. The demonstration, the council chamber's emergency lights, flickered back to life. Zarkonian rushed to his command console, his forearms moving frantically across the controls. Every screen showed the same terrifying image, targeting locks from ships that didn't exist on any sensor. This is impossible. Zirkon's mechanical voice crackled with static. Where are these signals coming from? Then space itself seemed to tear open. Around the Council's capital world, 500 Earth warships appeared from quantum space. They materialized in perfect formation, weapons powered and aimed at every strategic target. The Phoenix led them, its kilometer-long hull gleaming with weapons that the Council had never seen before. Captain Jung-hoon stood calm on his bridge, hands clasped behind his back. "Sir," his weapons officer reported, "we have lock on all targets. Waiting for your command." "Hold fire," Jung-hoon ordered. "We're not here to destroy. We're here to teach." In the council chamber, Zarkonian screamed at his military commanders. "Attack them! Destroy those ships," the commanders tried. They really did. But when they pressed their weapons controls, nothing happened. The screens just displayed a simple message: access denied. Then Seo Yin's face appeared on every display. She sat in Earth's Cyber Warfare Center, looking remarkably relaxed for someone who had just taken control of an entire galactic government's military. "Hello, Council," she said pleasantly. "You're probably wondering why your weapons won't work. It's simple, really. We've had control of your systems for weeks now." "Impossible," Zirkon shouted. "Our security is perfect." Seo Yan actually laughed. "Your security was designed to stop attacks from outside. But our probes? They've been inside your systems, learning, mapping, taking control. You never even noticed them." She gestured, and the displays changed. Now they showed Earth's real fleet. Not 500 ships, 5,000. All hidden in quantum space, spread throughout Council territory. Councilor Zex spoke for the first time, his voice shaking. 5,000? But your registered fleet is only what you were allowed to see, Seo Yan interrupted. We've been building for 50 years, quietly, carefully, while you thought we were weak. The display changed again. Dr. Chun appeared, standing in a laboratory filled with impossible-looking equipment. "Let me demonstrate something," he said calmly. "Counselor Zarkonian, please look at your defense platform Alpha 7. Everyone turned to watch the tactical display. The massive defense platform, armed with enough firepower to destroy a moon, suddenly turned its weapons on itself. "No." Zarkonian lunged for his controls. "Don't worry," Dr. Chon said. "We're not going to make it fire, but we could. Just like we could turn every one of your weapons against you. This is the mirror protocol. Any energy weapon fired at Earth, forces will be reflected back to its source with 99% efficiency. You would literally destroy yourselves if you attacked us." The council chamber fell silent. The most powerful races in the galaxy stood frozen, finally understanding their situation. Then President Min-jun appeared on the main screen. He looked tired but determined. "Members of the Galactic Council," he began, "you gave us an ultimatum. Surrender our technology or face isolation. You thought we were weak because we chose peace over war." He paused, letting his words sink in. "But there's something you need to understand about humans. We didn't avoid war because we were weak. We avoided it because we know what we're capable of. Our history is filled with violence, destruction, things that would horrify even you. We chose to be better. Counselor Zex found his courage to speak. If you have such power, why haven't you destroyed us? Min Jun's expression softened slightly. Because that would make us no better than you. True power isn't in destroying your enemies. It's in having the ability to destroy them and choosing not to. You're bluffing, Zircon snarled. You wouldn't dare. Every light in the chamber turned red. Targeting lasers appeared on every counselor, coming from nowhere and everywhere at once. Yong-hoon's voice echoed through the chamber. We have 17 different ways to end your civilization right now. Your shields are useless. Your weapons are ours. Your allies won't come. They're facing the same situation. The lasers disappeared. The lights returned to normal. But we won't, Yong-hoon continued. Because humans learn something you haven't. The strongest warrior is the one who wins without fighting. On the screen, Min Jun stood up. You have 1 hour to dissolve the Council's threats against Earth and any other races you're oppressing. This isn't an ultimatum. It's a chance for redemption. And if we refuse? Zarkonian asked, though his voice had lost all its arrogance. Then we'll show the galaxy exactly what you've been doing for the past 1,000 years. Every secret, every crime, every race you've enslaved or destroyed. And then we'll let them decide your fate. The transmission ended. The Council stood in silence, finally understanding the truth. Earth hadn't retaliated with weapons. They'd retaliated with something far more powerful, the complete dismantling of the Council's illusion of power. Asterisk. Collapse the hour that followed would be remembered as the fastest collapse of a galactic government in recorded history. It started with Counselor Vex of the Meridian Confederation. The insectoid being's wings buzzed nervously as he stood up. I withdraw my race from the Council. We want no part of this. You can't, Zarkonian roared. We stand together, or what? Vex interrupted. You'll attack us? With what weapons? The humans control everything. 2 more counselors stood up, then 3 more. Within minutes, half the council had abandoned their seats. Zircon tried to restore order. Stop. We are the Galactic Council. We've ruled for 1,000 years. No, a new voice said from the entrance. You've oppressed for 1,000 years. Everyone turned to see Ambassador Sarah Chun walking back into the chamber. But she wasn't alone. Behind her came representatives from dozens of smaller races the Council had kept under their control through fear. Earth shared some interesting files with us, said the representative of the Vertani colonies. Files showing how the Council has been stealing our resources, limiting our technology, keeping us weak. Esko Yan appeared on the screens again. This time, she wasn't alone. Hundreds of documents floated around her in holographic form. The galaxy deserves to know the truth, she said. Like how the Council destroyed the Kelvin race because they wouldn't surrender their mineral rights. Or how Zircon's people have been conducting illegal experiments on primitive species. Those are classified. Zircon shouted, "We're classified," Sioyan corrected. Now they're being broadcast to every inhabited world in known space. The reaction was immediate. On the tactical displays, ships from Council races began turning away from their formations. Military commanders started refusing orders. On a dozen worlds, populations that had been kept in line through fear began rising up. ZA Raconian's own communication device crackled to life. It was his home world's military chief. High Counselor, the people are demanding your arrest. You've put our entire race at risk with your arrogance. Surrender yourself, or we will come for you. This is treason, Zarkonian screamed. No. Captain Yong-hoon's voice came through the speakers. It's justice, and we're not even firing a shot. More and more council races began switching sides. The mighty Zircon Empire, which had terrified systems for centuries, saw its own military turn against its leadership. Ships that had been threatening Earth now asked for protection from their own governments. Counselor Zex approached Sarah Chun. The Altarian's blue skin had turned pale. "We were wrong about your species." I was wrong." Sarah studied him for a moment. "Your race never actively participated in the oppression. You just stayed silent." "Our silence made us complicit," Zex admitted, "but no more. The Altarian Federation requests membership in whatever comes after this council." Within 6 hours, the Galactic Council had completely dissolved. Zarkonian was arrested by his own security forces when he tried to flee. Zircon made it to a personal shuttle, but found it. Wouldn't respond to his commands. Earth still controlled everything. Other corrupt counselors faced justice from their own people. The races they had oppressed for so long finally had the power to speak out, protected by Earth's fleet. Sarah Chun stood in the empty council chamber, looking at the massive seal on the floor, a symbol that had meant oppression for 1,000 years. She reached into her bag and pulled out a small Earth flag, the blue and green sphere surrounded by stars. She placed it where the council seal used to be. "It's done," she said into her communicator. President Minjun's voice came back warm with relief. "Any regrets?" "No," Sarah said, looking around the chamber. "They forced our hand, but we showed them there's a better way." Captain Jung-hoon reported in. "Sir, we're receiving surrender signals from all former council military forces. Also, 17 races have requested to join a new alliance under Earth's protection." "Not under our rule," Minjun corrected. "As equals. That's the difference between us and them." Seo Yeon added her report. "I'm preparing to return control of their systems, but with safeguards. They'll never be able to use them for oppression again." As the sun set on the council's 1,000-year reign, representatives from free races began arriving at Earth's embassy. They didn't come as subjects or vassals. They came as equals, ready to build something better. Asterisk. The council had thought Earth's reluctance to fight meant weakness. They never imagined it meant humanity had evolved beyond the need for violence. And when pushed, humans had destroyed the greatest empire in the galaxy without firing a single shot. Asterisk. The new era 6 months later, the space station that once housed the Galactic Council had been transformed. Gone were the intimidating heights that made smaller races feel inferior. Instead, the new Galactic Assembly Hall was built in a circle, with every seat at the same level. Sarah Chun stood at the rotating podium. This month, she was the chairperson. Next month, it would be someone else. That was the new way. "The Assembly recognizes the representative from Kepler 442b, she announced. A young alien, barely adult by her species standards, stood up nervously. Her race had been slaves under the Council just 7 months ago. Now she spoke as an equal. "The Tarim people request assistance with our agricultural systems," she said. The Council's overseers left them in ruins. Before Sarah could respond, 3 hands raised. Earth, Altair, and even the reformed Zarkonian Empire offered to help. "We'll send our best agricultural scientists," Dr. Chon said from Earth's seat. "No payment needed. That's what the Assembly is for, helping each other." Captain Jung-hoon, now Admiral of the Combined Defense Fleet, gave his report next. "The peacekeeping force is now fully integrated. We have ships and crew from all 47 member races." "Any problems?" Sarah asked. "None. Turns out when people work as equals, they work better together." The session continued with the ordinary business of governance, trade agreements, cultural exchanges, technology sharing. It was boring compared to the Council's dramatic threats and power plays. It was also infinitely better. During a break, Counselor Zex, now simply Representative Zex, approached Sarah. I still don't understand. Your species had the power to conquer the galaxy. Why didn't you? Sarah led him to a window overlooking Earth, which orbited peacefully below. Let me tell you a story. In Earth's year 2053, we nearly destroyed ourselves. Nuclear war, environmental collapse, engineered diseases, we used them all on each other. Zex's eyes widened. But you survived. Barely. 3 billion humans died. The survivors made a choice. We could become conquerors, using our capacity for violence to rule others. Or we could become protectors, using our strength to prevent others from making our mistakes. So you chose peace. We chose wisdom, Sarah corrected. We knew what we were capable of. The Council mistook our restraint for weakness. They learned otherwise. Their conversation was interrupted by an urgent message. Pirates were attacking a mining colony in the outer systems. Without hesitation, ships from 12 different races responded. Working together under Admiral Jung-hoon's coordination. SEO-YEON, now Director of Transparent Intelligence, made all the tactical data available to every assembly member in real time. No secrets. No hidden agendas. Pirates neutralized, came the report 15 minutes later. No casualties. The criminals are being taken for rehabilitation. Rehabilitation? Zex asked. The Council would have executed them. And that's why the Council fell, President Min-jun said, entering the room for his scheduled visit. They ruled through fear. We lead through example. Later that day, in the Assembly's main session, a proposal was brought forward. Should Earth be given permanent leadership of the Assembly, considering their role in liberation? Sarah stood immediately. Earth votes no. Permanent power corrupts, even with the best intentions. The rotating leadership stays. The vote was unanimous. The proposal was rejected. Earth had earned the right to rule but chose not to. That choice earned them more loyalty than any threat ever could. As the day ended, an unexpected visitor arrived at the Assembly. It was Zircon, the former council member who had fled in disgrace. But he wasn't the same. The arrogant cyborg now wore simple worker's clothes, his mechanical parts showing wear from hard labor. I request permission to speak, he said quietly. The Assembly tensed. Many remembered his cruelty. Sarah looked at him carefully. Speak. I've spent 6 months working in the mines of Gavro 7. I saw Earthships protecting us from raiders last week. Ships from the race I called weak and primitive. His mechanical voice crackled with something that sounded like emotion. I was wrong. About everything. Earth didn't destroy us when they could have. They gave us a chance to be better. I want to thank them. The room was silent. Then, slowly, Admiral Jung-hoon stood and nodded. Everyone deserves redemption if they truly seek it. As the session concluded, Sarah stood at the window again, watching ships from dozens of races working together. The Council's 1,000-year reign of fear was over. In its place, something unprecedented in galactic history had emerged. A true partnership of equals. Min-jun joined her at the window. Any regrets about showing our full strength? No, Sarah replied. They needed to see what humanity learned the hard way, that true power isn't about what you can destroy. It's about what you choose to build. Below them, Earth turned peacefully in space, no longer alone, no longer threatened. The small blue planet that the Council had tried to bully had become the galaxy's greatest teacher. They had taught the ultimate lesson. When Earth retaliated, it wasn't with weapons or conquest. It was with something far more powerful, the complete dismantling of tyranny and the building of hope that the Council's illusion of power had crumbled. In its place, real power had emerged, the power of unity, redemption, and choosing to be better. The galaxy would never be the same. Epilogue. 1 year after the Council's fall, a small ceremony took place in the new Galactic Assembly. No fanfare, no grand speeches, just a simple moment that defined the new era. A young human child and a young Zarkonian stood together at the podium, reading a pledge in unison. We promise to use our strength to protect, not conquer. To build, not destroy. To remember that true power comes from choosing peace, even when war would be easier. In the audience, Sarah Chun wiped away a tear. They had done it. Humanity's greatest retaliation hadn't been violence. It had been showing the galaxy a better way. The Council thought they were awakening a sleeping monster. Instead, they awakened humanity's greatest strength, the wisdom to know when not to fight, and the courage to stand up when they must. Earth had retaliated. And in doing so, they had saved everyone, including their enemies. The end asterisk.